Joining us now to talk TikTok and other tech companies that are facing government scrutiny is former FTC Commissioner Moselle Thompson. Moselle, good to have you back on. It seems hard to believe. I think it's the most popular social media app by a large margin, maybe second to Instagram, who knows. Is there a chance that it vanishes?
Well, I think that it'd be difficult for the government to ban it entirely. There's one thing about banning it from government devices, because the government owns those devices and supposedly has control over those devices. But for the entire public, I could see there'd be some substantial legal challenges. Now, from what I understand, the administration is in ongoing discussions about how to protect the data of Americans from possible intrusion and use by the Chinese government. But they're still in those talks. They have been for a while. We'll see how that turns out. I think that they're concerned about what the legal ramifications are if it's not a negotiation settlement.
Would a settlement include moving the server? Let's say you're TikTok. You don't want to go away in America. You're based in China. Why not just move all of your servers to the United States? Get them out of, because that's the concern. The concern for people who don't get it, it's very simple. TikTok is a live microphone and live camera, and it takes your phone's data and theoretically sends it back to China, which every company we know has a, quote, special partner, which is the Communist Party. It's like a live camera in everybody's house in the United States. That's a little bit weird, but you get it. Is there, I mean, could they just move it to the U.S. and end it?
Well, I think that's part of it. Part of it is where the firewall is, so that you could move something to the United States, but if there's a clear pipeline that goes back to China, or China can access that information whenever it wants to, or in ways that are surreptitious, that would pose a problem for American users and for security interests of the U.S. So I think it's a little more than just the location of the data and where it's collected. It's the circumstances under which someone else can get access to it as well.
There is so much legislation that is kind of either currently working its way, I'm just a bill type thing through Congress, or is on somebody's bench. They've all got typical D.C. names, Moselle: American Innovation and Choice Online Act, the Open Markets Act, which probably means it's not, the American Data Privacy Act, the Protect Speech Act, the Protecting Speech from Government Interference Act. What are those, and what are they going to do? Which one do we need to be nervous about?
Well, it's interesting. I think that you're right. There are a lot of them that are on the books, and they're at various stages of development. What's interesting is, though there's been a lot of talk, there's also been a lot of internal discussion. In other words, it's not been 100% pro or con on both sides of the aisle and in both houses. So you notice that none of them have been passed. And most people predict what's coming next year is going to be even more gridlock, to the extent that there are closer margins between the interest in House and the Senate, and you have two different parties controlling two different segments of the government. So I think that most people think that the things that will wind up in actual legislation are going to be hard to come by, especially the ones that are dealing with antitrust, things that deal with larger market regulation, like things dealing with content censorship, et cetera. But where you might get something is there's some common understanding about the baselines of privacy, especially when it deals with children. And that's where you might find some greater consensus.
Let's hope. Let's hope that would be a bipartisan keeping our children safe online act. It shouldn't be hard.
So.
That's it.
You would think so.
You think so? Well, you never know. Moselle Thompson, have a great new year. Thanks for joining us on the special.